because aging is something we can learn to master. I read every one and reply when I can. What if the prevailing wisdom about exercise after 50 is fundamentally flawed? For decades, strain and pound the pavement to stay fit. But if you're over, can or can't, 60 or 70, you know the reality is different. The impact hurts. The energy drain is real. Have you felt it? That sharp twinge in your knee when you take the stairs? The stiffness in your lower back when you get out of bed that takes half the morning to shake off? Or perhaps the most frightening sensation of all, that momentary wobble when you step off a curb? The sudden realization that your balance isn't what it used to be. These aren't just minor annoyances. They are warning signs from your body that your foundational strength is eroding. And this leads to a very real fear, the fear of falling, the fear of hospitalization, and the ultimate fear of losing your independence and becoming a burden on your loved ones. You've likely been told to just walk more or join a gym. But here's the truth. Walking, while healthy, is not enough to build the muscle density and stability you need. And conventional gyms often focus on superficial muscles while ignoring the silent heroes of stability. The solution isn't to push harder and risk injury. It's to train smarter. We need to focus on elite-level movements that revitalize the brain-body connection, activate deep stabilizer muscles, and build functional strength without the damaging impact. In this guide, I'm going to walk you through 5 deceptively simple, anti-aging exercises that are significantly better than running for building a resilient, energized, and capable body. These are the cornerstones of functional medicine approaches to vitality, and make sure you stay until the end, because exercise number 5 is perhaps the most humbling movement you'll try, but it targets the root cause of neck pain, shoulder stiffness, and the posture that instantly adds years to your appearance. It's a true game changer. Before we get started, drop your name and where you're watching from in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Let's begin our journey toward aging smarter. The first movement is the single most important exercise for maintaining your ability to live independently. I call it the independence builder. You know it as the sit to stand, but we perform it with a specific intention and control. Why is this so crucial? Because the ability to lower your body with control and rise again without using your arms is the very definition of functional independence. Think about getting in and out of a car, using the restroom, or simply joining your family at the dinner table. When this movement becomes difficult, your world starts to shrink. As we age, we face sarcopenia, the natural loss of muscle mass. This process hits the large power muscles of the legs, the glutes, and quads the hardest. Running might burn calories, but it often doesn't build the raw strength needed to counteract this loss, and the repetitive impact can be devastating to aging cartilage. The Independence Builder directly rebuilds this essential strength with zero impact. The validation for this movement is overwhelming. A landmark study published in the British Medical Journal found that the ability to perform a sit-to-stand without assistance was a startlingly accurate predictor of mortality. Simply put, stronger legs correlate directly with a longer, more vibrant life. This isn't just about fitness, it's about survival and maintaining an extraordinary quality of life. The muscles activated are the primary movers of your lower body. The quadriceps at the front of your thighs are essential for knee stability and the lifting phase. The glutes, the powerhouse of your body, drive the hip extension, and your core stabilizers fire up to keep your torso upright and balanced throughout the movement. Here is how to perform it with perfect intention. Start seated on a sturdy chair. Scoot forward toward the edge of the seat. Place your feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Engage your core and keep your chest lifted. Now, cross your arms over your chest. This is critical because it prevents you from using momentum or pushing off with your hands. Drive through your heels. Start seated on a sturdy chair and slowly rise to a full standing position. Cross your arms over your chest. Squeeze your glutes. Now, the most important part, standing tall and stable. Slowly push your hips backward and lower yourself down for a count of 4 seconds. Control the movement. Do not just plop down. Gently touch the seat and rise again. Aim for 8 to 10 repetitions. The real-life benefits are immediate. You'll notice dramatically increased confidence on stairs. You'll be able to rise easily from low sofas or chairs without strain. And you'll reduce the wear and tear on your knees by training proper mechanics. A pro tip: the eccentric phase, that's slow. The descent, it builds control and stability. If this is too challenging right now, start with a higher chair or use a cushion to raise the surface. You can also use your hands on the armrest for assistance initially, but work toward the goal of doing it hands-free. Our second exercise is a favorite in physical therapy clinics worldwide because it works on deep stabilization and the brain-body connection. It's the bird dog, which I call the spinal stabilizer. Why is this movement essential after 50? Spinal health is paramount. While running compresses the spine with every step, the spinal stabilizer decompresses and strengthens it. It targets the deep core muscles far more effectively than traditional exercises like crunches, which can actually be harmful to the mature spine by putting excessive pressure on the discs. Crucially, this exercise enhances your neuromuscular control. This is the communication pathway between your brain and your muscles. It utilizes a cross-lateral pattern, moving the opposite arm and opposite leg. This specific pattern forces the left and right hemispheres of your brain to communicate, which is vital for coordination, balance, and reacting quickly to prevent a fall. It sharpens the nervous system. The authority behind this movement is significant. Dr. Stuart McGill, a world-renowned expert in spine biomechanics, champions the bird dog as one of the most effective, low-risk exercises for protecting the back. It activates the silent heroes of the spine, like the multifidus. These are small, deep muscles that attach to each vertebra and are critical for spinal stability, yet they are almost always neglected by conventional exercise programs. The muscles activated include the erector spinae, which run along your spine, the multifidus, those deep spinal stabilizers we just mentioned, the transverse abdominis, which acts as your body's natural corset, and the glutes, which are activated during the leg extension. Here's how to execute it with precision. Start on all fours. Your hands should be directly under your shoulders, and your knees directly under your hips. Maintain a neutral spine. Your back should be flat enough to balance a glass of water on it. Keep your gaze down at the floor to align your neck. Engage your core. Do not let your belly sag toward the floor. Simultaneously, extend your right arm forward and your left leg backward until they are parallel to the floor. Imagine you are reaching toward the walls in front of and behind you. The key is the hold. Maintain this position for 5 to 10 seconds. There should be absolutely no rotation in your hips or shoulders. You must remain perfectly square to the floor. Slowly return to the starting position and repeat with the left arm and right leg. The real-life benefits of mastering the spinal stabilizer include drastically reduced lower back pain and stiffness. You will notice improved balance when walking, as your core is better equipped to handle shifts in weight, and you will find better coordination in daily activities, from gardening to playing with grandchildren. A modification if you find this challenging. If coordinating the arm and leg together causes you to lose balance or rotate your hips, modify by extending only one limb at a time. Focus on the stillness. Remember, quality over quantity is the rule here. We are training the nervous system, not just the muscles. Next, we move to a movement that targets the largest and most powerful muscle group in your body, which unfortunately tends to become dormant as we age due to excessive sitting. This is the Powerhouse Activator, or the glute bridge. Why is this so essential? We live in a sedentary culture. Hours spent sitting lead to a condition often referred to as gluteal amnesia. Your glutes literally forget how to fire properly. When this happens, your body compensates. The lower back and the hamstrings try to take over the work the glutes should be doing. This compensation pattern is a leading cause of chronic lower back pain, hip tightness, and instability. Strong glutes are the cornerstone of vitality. They power your walking gait, support your posture, and protect your knees. While running uses the glutes, it often doesn't activate them effectively if they are already dormant. The glute bridge isolates and ignites this crucial muscle group with zero impact, retraining your body to use a proper hip hinge rather than relying on the fragile structures of the lower spine. The validation for glute training is robust. Research strongly links hip extension strength, the movement powered by the glutes, with walking speed, balance, and overall functional ability in seniors. Furthermore, studies suggest that stronger glutes can significantly improve lower limb mechanics, helping to alleviate the symptoms of osteoarthritis in the knees by ensuring proper alignment. This exercise is fundamental to revitalizing your movement patterns. The muscles activated are the gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus, the primary drivers of hip extension. The hamstrings assist in the lifting motion. Crucially, the pelvic floor is also engaged during the lift, which is vital for pelvic stability and continence. Here's how to perform the Powerhouse Activator. Lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Place your feet close enough that you can almost touch your heels with your fingertips. Place your arms by your sides, palms down. Engage your core, pressing your lower back slightly into the floor to stabilize your pelvis. Drive through your heels and squeeze your glutes to lift your hips off the floor. Continue lifting until your body forms a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Avoid overarching your lower back. The movement must come from your hips, not your lumbar spine. Hold the top position for a slow count of 3 seconds, focusing intensely on maximum glute contraction. Slowly lower your hips back to the floor with control. Aim for 10 to 15 repetitions. The real-life benefits are profound. Climbing stairs will feel easier and less strenuous. You'll experience reduced lower back pain as your glutes begin to do their job correctly. And you will notice improved stability when standing and walking. A pro tip for maximum activation: focus on the power of stillness. Try an isometric hold at the top. Hold the bridge for 15 seconds while squeezing your glutes tightly. This maximizes muscle activation and builds extraordinary endurance without endless repetitions. It's an elite-level technique that delivers results quickly. The fourth exercise is perhaps the most deceptively simple, yet it is a critical movement for fall prevention. I call it the balance anchor, or the tandem stance. The why behind this exercise is rooted in neuroscience. Balance is not just about muscle strength. It's a complex interplay between your brain, your eyes, your inner ear, and your proprioceptive system, your body's ability to sense where it is in space. As we age, this system declines if we don't actively train it. We spend most of our time with a wide base of support. The tandem stance drastically narrows that base, forcing your nervous system to work harder. It illuminates weaknesses in your stability and actively strengthens the brain-body connection. Running trains forward movement, but it does very little to train the fine motor control needed to prevent a fall when you stumble. The balance anchor specifically addresses this vulnerability. The authority on this is undeniable. According to the CDC, falls are the leading cause of injury-related death among adults aged 65 and older. Research in gerontology highlights that static balance exercises, like the tandem stance, are among the most effective interventions for reducing fall risk. Studies have shown that the inability to hold a tandem stance for even 10 seconds is a significant predictor of future falls. This simple movement builds resilience. The muscles activated are the silent heroes of stability. The small muscles around the ankles and feet work intensely to make micro-adjustments. The peroneal muscles on the side of the ankle are crucial for preventing rolling, and the entire core musculature engages to keep your center of gravity stable over a narrow base. Here is how to perform the balance anchor safely. Stand near a wall or the back of a sturdy chair for support. Do not hesitate to use the support. Place one foot directly in front of the other so that the heel of the front foot touches the toes of the back foot. Imagine you are standing on a tightrope. Distribute your weight evenly between both feet. Keep your posture tall, your core engaged, and your gaze fixed on a point straight ahead. Once you feel stable, slowly lift your hands off the support. Hold this position for 30 seconds. You will likely feel wobbling. This is normal. It means your nervous system is learning. Switch feet, placing the other foot in front, and repeat. The real-life benefits include feeling significantly more grounded and stable when walking on uneven surfaces like grass or cobblestones. You'll have a faster reaction time if you do stumble, and you'll gain increased confidence in crowded environments. A pro tip for this exercise: If the full tandem stance heel to toe is too challenging, start with a semi-tandem stance. Place the instep of the front foot against the heel of the back foot, giving you a slightly wider base. As your balance improves, gradually move into the straight line. You'll have a faster reaction time if you do stumble. Gradually move into the straight line. This brings us to our final exercise, the forward hunch, or kyphosis. This is the posture reclaimer, also known as wall angels. The why here is critical for quality of life. It addresses the postural decline that ages us faster than wrinkles. Looking at screens, reading, over decades. This causes the muscles in the chest, the pectorals, to become tight and shortened, while the muscles in the upper back, the rhomboids and traps, become weak and lengthened. This isn't just an aesthetic issue. This posture compresses the chest cavity, reducing lung capacity, impacting digestion, and contributing to chronic neck pain, shoulder impingement, and tension headaches. It projects frailty. Running, especially with poor form, often tightens the chest further. The posture reclaimer directly reverses this by opening the chest and activating the forgotten muscles of the upper back. Experts in spinal health emphasize that restoring the natural alignment of the spine is vital for healthy aging. By improving posture, often tightens the chest further, you are improving your physiological capacity. The Mayo Clinic recommends exercises that strengthen the scapular stabilizers, the muscles around the shoulder blades, as essential for preventing shoulder injuries and improving respiratory function. The muscles activated are the rhomboids and mid-lower trapezius, the key muscles that pull the shoulder blades back and down. And the deep cervical flexors are engaged to combat forward head posture. Here's how to execute the posture reclaimer. Stand with your back against a flat wall. Your heels, glutes, and upper back should be touching the wall. Tuck your chin slightly, give yourself a slight double chin so the back of your head also touches the wall. If possible, bring your arms up to a 90-degree angle, like a goalpost. Try to press your elbows and the backs of your hands against the wall. This may be deceptively simple, but surprisingly difficult if you have tightness. Engage your core slightly to prevent your lower back from arching excessively off the wall. Slowly slide your arms upward along the wall, extending them overhead, while striving to maintain contact with the wall. Go only as high as you can before your hands or elbows lift off, or your back arches painfully. Slowly slide your arms back down, actively squeezing your shoulder blades together and down as you lower. Repeat slowly for 10 repetitions. The real-life benefits include standing taller and looking more energized. You'll experience reduced neck and shoulder pain, and you will notice improved breathing capacity as your chest opens up. A crucial tip for this exercise: many people cannot keep their hands against the wall. This is normal and highlights the exact chest tightness we are trying to reverse. Don't force it. Simply focus on the movement of the shoulder blades. Even if your arms are a few inches off the wall, you are still activating the correct muscles and working toward better alignment. Let's pause for a moment and reflect on what these 5 exercises really represent. The Independence Builder, the Spinal Stabilizer, the Powerhouse Activator, the Balance Anchor, and the Posture Reclaimer. They're not flashy. They don't require expensive memberships or complicated equipment, but do not mistake simplicity for weakness. These movements are powerful because they are foundational. They address the root causes of physical decline: muscle loss, core instability, poor posture, and diminished balance. After 50, fitness isn't about chasing extremes, punishing your joints with impact, or exhausting your energy reserves. It's about aging smarter, not harder. It's about consistency, intention, and focusing on the movements that preserve your independence and enhance your vitality. This approach is about building a body that serves you, allowing you to engage fully with life, rather than a body you constantly have to manage and repair. As you begin integrating these movements into your life, remember our golden rule: pain is not progress. Listen intimately to your body. Start slowly, perhaps just a few minutes a day. Focus on the quality and control of the movement, not the quantity. Use the supports, the walls, not the quantity, the chairs as needed. And, of course, if you have pre-existing conditions, recent surgeries, or specific concerns, please consult with your doctor or physical therapist before starting any new regimen. Consistency is your superpower. 10 minutes a day of these intentional movements will yield far greater results than an intense workout you only do occasionally. We have been conditioned to believe that aging is synonymous with decline, stiffness, and a gradual retreat from the activities we love. We are told to accept frailty as an inevitable part of the journey, but the truth is far more empowering. Many of the symptoms we label as aging are simply the result of inactivity and the neglect of our foundational movement systems. The exercises we've shared today are your tools to interrupt that process. They are your path to reclaiming control, rebuilding your stability, and revitalizing your energy. They are better than running because they build you up without breaking you down. Getting older is inevitable, but how you move through the next decades of your life, whether with hesitation, pain, and fear, or with confidence, vitality, and power that is a choice. Choose stability. Choose independence. Choose strength. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 movements resonated the most with your needs? Are you going to try the balance anchor or the posture reclaimer first? Drop your thoughts and your commitment in the comments below. I read every single one, and I look forward to supporting you on this journey. Thank you for watching. Be well, and remember to move smarter, today and every day.